going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Welcome back, guys. Drop a like down below. Comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. As you guys know, I am back to doing daily videos. Now the MLB is back, so if you haven't checked out the MLB High Five, you got to go check that out on the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now, I'm going to do a full slate breakdown for baseball, NFL, basketball, stuff like that. I do a High Five. Well, football, we put lineups together early in the week. But normally I'll do like a High Five. On this PGA, I'm going to do a full slate breakdown for tomorrow's slate at TPC Twin Cities for the 3M Open, July 23rd. All right, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now, my overall favorite guy that I'll be having a lot of is Tony Feno. Tony Feno is just a very, very consistent option. Outside of TPC River, he actually has done really, really solid. He's gotten over 80 DraftKings points 4 out of the last 5 times he's come out. He's a guy that's just been super solid. He's got a really good Vegas odds, 1 in 14 shot to win this. Has an average of over 313 yards off the tee for the last month, which is really, really good. He's just been very, very solid. He's very consistent, and he's a guy that I think is going to have a chance of winning this thing at 10-9. I really love Tony Feno. Another guy I want to talk about, I'm not going to be locking people in. I don't know why I locked him in, but I'm going to go ahead and go straight to a value play of Scott Stallings. Stallings is one of the guys that I'm really interested in value-wise on this slate, just because, I mean, kind of like Feno. I mean, the last 4 outings has just been incredibly consistent. 72, 104, 79, 78. He's got a 1 in 80 shot at winning this thing at only 7-6. I really, really love this dude. I mean, throughout the last month, he's just been on absolute fire. He is an amazing option as a value play at 7-6. He's one of the guys that I really, really like. Other guys that I like, let's talk some more value guys while we're at it. Why not? A real punt guy that I want to go with is Seamus Power. All right, Power is a guy that not many people normally talk about, but same kind of situation as these other guys that I've talked about. Over the last 5 weeks, he's gotten 81, 35, 66, 85, and 90. So the 35 is not great, but I mean, he has been absolutely on fire, okay? He's had a great month. He's been playing very, very well. He's hitting over 73% of his greens in regulation, which is really solid. He's also hitting the ball incredibly far off the tee, actually the farthest off the tee, over 331 yards off the tee on average over his last month, which is top in this field. He's been putting solid. He's just a really, really solid guy. And at 6'5", you can do way worse than Seamus Power. I really love his value. Now let's go up to the higher guys. All right. I'll go ahead and keep Feno in here because he's my lock. Guy I really love. Next guy I want to talk about, Paul Casey. When it comes to spending up, Paul Casey's a guy I'm really having interest in here. He hasn't had the greatest of months. I mean, he's had 2 down weekends in the last 3 outings. Okay, but we know what this guy can do. We know his talent. We know he's hitting over 76% of his fairways over the last month. Okay, I mean, his accuracy has been really, really solid over the last month. Okay, he's been playing okay. I don't like those 2 down games in the last 3 weeks, but Paul Casey, expect to bounce back in this one at 10-1. I really think he is in a solid position. He's got a 1 in 20 shot at winning this at 10-1. Paul Casey, you can do worse than Paul Casey. All right, let's talk about another guy that I really like, Matthew Wolff. Matthew Wolff has been pretty good. I mean, he had a huge outing in Detroit we got a 132 there. 132 DraftKings points. He was absolutely on fire. We know he took that one, and he played absolutely amazing. Then he had a down week the next week, got 19, and then he got 70, and he bounced back. He's got a 1 in 22 shot at winning this thing. I'm not going to have a ton of him. More in GPP, I would rather having him because we know his type of upside. He actually, last time at this course, won it. So he actually got the win last time here, and he's a guy that I mean, you can expect a good outcome out of. I'm trying to go GPP mainly with Wolf, but yeah, he's a solid option for sure. All right, some other guys that I want to talk about. Let's go ahead and go back to the value range because honestly, I mean, you can get about 2-3 studs on this slate with how good the value is on this slate. Let's talk about another guy. Let's go Werenski. Richie Rowenski. All right. Rowenski has been super duper consistent. Out of the last 5 contests he's played in, he's gotten 54, 54, 76, 93, 77. He has a 1 in 80 shot at only 7-4. He played last time at TPC Twin Cities, ended up in 46th. His last month, he's just been absolutely on fire. Okay. He's hitting over 73% of greens in regulation. He's driving the ball over 303 yards. He's just been very, very consistent, very solid. And Werenski at 7-4 is a really solid option on this slate. All right. Now, let's talk about another bit of a spend up. He's at 9K. I want to talk about Harry English. Harry English is another guy that I want to definitely go ahead and talk about for a minute here. English has had a great go this year pretty much. He's been super, super consistent out of a few. He's only had 2 weeks where he got under 30 DraftKings points. Only 2. He's been fairly consistent. He's averaging about 60 to 70 DraftKings points, almost 70 DraftKings points. He's had some big outings, getting over 100 3 times. I mean, he's a dude who can get you that upside. He almost got you over 100 at Harbor. He's a guy that's fairly consistent in cash games. You can do worse than Harry English. I really, really like him. He hasn't been fantastic at hitting his greens in regulation over the last month. He has not been very good there. He also doesn't hit the ball very far. But I'm expecting a good outing out of Harry English in this one. He's a very consistent, safe option. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about what other spend up guys do I want to make sure I speak on for a second. All right, let's talk about Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson is one of the best golfers in the world. We already know that. He is the guy that can get you a ton of points, or like last week, can get you 16, sadly. He's been pretty up and down. Hasn't been very consistent, but we know who Dustin Johnson is. He has a 1 in 11 shot at winning this. I don't love his price at 11.5 with the way he's been up and down. But with the talent level in this field, I mean, it's a good, it's a pretty large gap between some of the talent levels on some of these guys on the slate. You're not having to deal with DeChambeau's of the world or Rory McIlroy, none of that stuff. So I really, really like this. I think that Dustin Johnson can be okay for GPPs. I think a lot of people are going to go Feno, which is completely okay. I prefer Feno straight up. But in GPP, getting off of Feno for like a Dustin Johnson or a Tommy Fleetwood would be fine too. Speaking of Tommy Fleetwood, let's go ahead and discuss Fleetwood. Fleetwood's been a guy that I like to get a ton of exposure to because most of the time he's just super duper consistent. Now, the problem with him is over the last month, he has not been very good. Okay, his last 2 contests, he has not been good. He shot 8 over at Bay Hill. Then he shot 6 over at Sawgrass, the last 2 contests he played in. He has not been very good. But in GPPs, this is a solid little bounce back spot for Tommy Fleetwood in this one. All right. Who else? Have I talked about Lucas Glover? Did I talk about Lucas Glover yet? Hold on. I'm not sure if I talked about Lucas Glover, and if I have, then I'm just going to talk about this again. But Lucas Glover is another guy that I'm very interested in here. All right. He has had a solid season. He has a 1 in 28 shot at winning here. At least that's what Vegas is saying. He's been playing very, very well lately. I mean, 87, 89, 89, 89, 53. Like, he's just been super duper consistent. He had 3 down weeks in a row, getting 17, 17, and 19. And then lately, he's just gotten it together. He's another guy that's a very solid option at 9-4. All right. And now I'll talk about a few other guys. Mainly, I've gone over my main guys that I'm interested in. This is the Feno. Scott Stallings as value I really love. Seamus Power as value I really love at 6'5". Paul Casey is another spend-up guy that I like. Let's talk about Sam Burns, and then I will let you guys go. All right, most of these guys, I've talked about pretty much all the guys that I'm interested in. Now, this is mainly a little more for GPP, but Sam Burns, I really like here. The last month, if he continues what he's been doing the last month, you can play him in anything. And last time he played at TPC Twin Cities, he finished 7th. All right? He finished top 10 last time. He's only 8-5. He's got a 1 in 40 shot at winning. The last month, he's averaged 23rd or better. He's been hitting the ball over 315 off the tee. He's hitting over 72% of his greens in regulation. He's been playing very, very solid. I mean, he got 91, 81, 86 the last 3 times out. 8-5, Sam Burns is a solid option as well on this slate. Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anybody that I definitely want to talk about real quick. Another guy that's the last time he played at TPC Twin Cities, finished in 7th. Troy Merritt at 7-5 is another value option. We just have a ton of value. So in my opinion, the way that I really like looking at this slate so far has been, I really want Casey. I really want Tony Finau. And then I want to pair these other 7 to 8K range guys around them and get a nice, solid, balanced line that has the upside as well. Because I think Seamus Power's got potential to get you 90 or more DraftKings points. He's only 6'5". All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always. I hope I was able to help get you guys on the right track, paired up with all the other information you're able to find. I hope you kill it. Greenlightdfs.com if you want to join the squad for the PGA. Thank you guys for watching as always. Peace. I'm out.